All right, welcome everybody to this week's MYP chat. We're going to be focusing on techniques for managing change. And these are techniques that are outlined in Holman, Devane, and Cady, 2007, the Change Handbook, second edition. It's essentially a cookbook and a manual that you can use with over 100 different change methods that are documented and classified according to the needs of a specific change effort, your organization, resources, all sorts of different things that are going to be important when you're going to want to choose a change method to guide change. In the book, they outline 8 big reasons why change is something that we have to accept as a normal part of essentially all organizations, but especially schools. Number 1, rapid advancements in and global dissemination of communications technology. Information is everywhere. Policies, events, approaches, just one click away, right? People can shape their lives with this information in ways that they could not have done in the past. And this leads to a strong desire to participate in decisions that affect them, right? People want to be involved in those decisions. And this results in a need for organizations and schools to channel that energy of information to people. The second big global factor is this idea of kind of a spread of increased participation and democratic principles around the world. There's a demand for empowerment in organizations. More people want to take an active role in determining policies, decisions, and actions that affect them, right? And there's an underlying sentiment that essentially the command and control approach is dead, despite having evidence to suggest otherwise in many organizations. The third major factor is a huge increase in education levels around the world. Increased education means that more people learn. The more people learn, the less likely is that they're going to enjoy and be kind of okay with being told what to do, right? So what we need is the ability to systematically capitalize on people's desire to participate and contribute meaningfully. The fourth major area is increased global mobility, right? Increasingly diverse populations, organizations, and communities all over the world lead to increased chances or opportunities for conflict. And so what we need are methods that productively harness the power of diversity and benefits to organizations or communities. Diversity is a huge source of benefit, and we need to harness that. The fifth major area is this idea of increasing conflicting demands of multiple stakeholders involved, right? Because of this increased mobility and increases in heterogeneity or the heterogeneous nature of communities and organizations, we need to address multiple conflicting interests. And this is becoming more and more common, right? We need to look after the common good of all involved. And we need to basically co-create conditions with multiple stakeholders to ensure that multiple individual and the collective needs are met. The sixth major area has to do with what's described as tight time and work-life balance, right? Time as a resource is scarce, especially today. Think about your typical day, right? Balancing technical work, improvement work, outside work, family, friends, needs for exercise. What we need is a specific methods that can help us productively use people's time to pursue opportunities and fix problems. The seventh major global area is a declining participation in community, family, and social life, and this is kind of tied to the previous. So we have, for example, Harvard sociologist Robert Putnam and their world-renowned book, Bowling Alone, in which they interview over 500,000 interviews over 25 years, kind of confirm this idea that declining connections between people essentially can impoverish lives and communities, and this is especially well documented in places like America. And so what we need are methods that can satisfy human needs and the ability for them to connect with, or people to connect with one another in the workplace, and also ensure that there are opportunities for that outside of the workplace. Finally, the last kind of issue here has to do with immunity to change, right? Change can be ill-received in organizations and schools, with kind of this too shall pass attitude, right? And this stems largely from the kind of, the common types of of change that may have occurred in those organizations that involve little participation, interaction, or cooperative solution seeking. And so we need to involve people in those decisions, right? In the process of coming up with ideas for change and in the change process. So our first question this week is, which of these factors are kind of first and foremost on your mind and in your context as an MYP coordinator or as an MYP school or as a teacher or a leader? Thanks. Looking forward to hearing your responses.